Hey guys, what's going on? It's Super Deathbot here with just a quick review of one of these Mythic Legions trolls. This figure isn't mine actually, I'm waiting to get mine in, but one of my buddies who got his in has decided to let me take this and review it, so I was pretty excited about that because we haven't seen any really pictures or videos or anything online yet because I don't think too many people have got them. So I've been working on my space to set up like an actual review spot so you can see everything a little better and all that. But I wanted to just get this out there, my first review really, and so everyone could see what these things are all about. If you want to maybe try and scoop one before everyone skyrockets the price, which may have already happened, so who knows. So let's get into it. I'm not a big box guy, and it was already taken out of the box anyway, but as you can see, he has a giant box behind him with just the same artwork on every other Mythic Legions box if you are familiar with any of that, and nothing particularly special inside. Here I have one of the Barbarian builders right here for scale. He's 6 inches, and I measured this guy earlier. I think I left my tape measure upstairs, but he's about 11 and a quarter inches compared to any of these guys. So he's pretty sizable, and I gotta imagine he's almost the same length across, probably like a good 9 to 10 inches, you know. So he's pretty cool, and the details on him are awesome. So let's get this little dude out of the way, and then we will get into what we actually came here to see. So, like most other Mythic Legions figures, the articulation is pretty decent. It's not crazy. It's not import or anything, but he's got the ratchet joints, kind of like those old Rotocast figures and stuff like that. I'm sure that's kind of pretty similar to how this was done, but the sculpt work and everything like that is just it's insane. I mean, that's even on import level and not necessarily, you know, Marvel Legends and stuff, which I like, but not always impressed with the amount of detail that they go into. So you can move his arms up pretty high, you know, about there. It's not crazy articulation, but not bad. You can get pretty good range of motion. He's just got a little joint on his elbow here. It doesn't go too far, but gets the job done. He's got the swivel, you know. I don't think he has any ankle pivot, so I'm sure some people are gonna be mad about that. Just kidding. But you know, not bad. His legs do go back and forth. I mean, you can get him into some pretty different positions. I was hoping that he would have maybe some sort of ab crunch or something, but because he's so slouched over, he doesn't really need it. But his head moves pretty good. But you know, nothing crazy, but still some solid articulation when you get some good pictures. And I mean, just the details and everything on this guy are so menacing that sometimes stuff like that makes up for the articulation, you know. It's you take pictures look like that. I mean, this guy could work for anything like you know, Zelda, Link, and all that kind of stuff. You could use him for Thor, for any sort of the Mythic Legions, or any sort of fantastical character you might come across, you know. So if we get into the detail here, everything is sculpted amazingly. You know, the textures on him, the actual details that stick out. You know, he's a stone troll, I guess. So, I mean, all the details in the rocks and everything like that. The paint apps are really good. I mean, I could say you could maybe push some of them a little further, but I mean, even if you see the weathering and the dings and all the kind of stuff on the belt and the chips in the rocks, all that kind of stuff, I mean, it's a really good job. You can see all the specks in his skin and stuff like that. So maybe could have used a little bit more of a wash in some of the crevices and things like that, but I mean, really no complaints at all. They got to try and keep the price reasonable for everyone to afford. If you can see on his teeth here and his eyes, he does have a wash, and you really can get into the details and stuff like that. They does a great job. It's a little bit darker in real life than it is here on my phone. You know, I'm just doing this quick review on my phone so everyone can see. I'll use a better camera for everything going forward. But his wrists and everything have really good sculpture and paint work, and there's a lot more layers on here than probably this lighting and this camera would lead you to believe. So that's something to look forward to when you actually get it in hand. I mean, we all do reviews and check this stuff out, but you get to notice all the little nuances and things like that when you actually get one of these, you know, in your hand or any other figure. What I really like about this company is the sculpt work. I mean, you sometimes sacrifice a little bit of articulation for some of their stuff, but that is literally it. The amount of things that they give you, like with accessories on the other figures, interchangeable parts, the designs, the customer service, the quality, it's all really, really awesome. I mean, just the designs in his face and the paint applications and everything are pretty spot on. I mean, I like the way they sculpted his belly right here, even over his little cod piece there, you know. He's got the soft goods, which are all tattered and ripped and stained, so that's pretty cool. They didn't just throw like a perfectly, you know, neat piece of cloth on this guy and think that he's going to keep it clean the whole time, you know. You can see in his stomach there, he's got some lighter flesh tones and definitely darker. And even the way he's hunched over when you go to take photos of him, I mean, he'll take the lighting his own anatomy gives him is pretty cool. So, you know, I'd really recommend this guy if you like anything like that and you want to pick this kind of stuff up. He does come with this hammer. It does come apart, so that way you can kind of get it in and out of different spots easy enough. So you just pop that right back together, and this thing is pretty rad. You know, you got the, once again, I think maybe the runes, I'm guessing those would be runes, are, they could have maybe been washed or something a little just to give a little bit of contrast, but, I mean, after a while collecting, you kind of get used to some of this stuff and you can do it yourself, and sometimes you want to do it yourself, you know. The buckles on it are painted, you know, metallic and all sorts of different shades of brown, and, you know, to really give it that weathered look. The tree looks really awesome. I mean, it literally just looks like he did make it out of a tree because, you know, he did. He's a giant. He does giant things and makes weapons out of trees, you know. If I was a giant, I'd do giant things and make weapons out of trees too. So, you know, the details, all the rivets, stuff like that, really good job. I mean, if you're into this kind of thing, then this company, you know, is for you. They got their Kickstarter going right now. We haven't seen any more of these trolls or anything like that, but I'm sure we will. There's a few more on the package, and these guys like to do stuff like this. They're collectors like us, so I think we will get some more of that. I mean, moving back to this guy, this in scale with these other Mythic Legions, I think it's really cool that they are that much bigger. I mean, you could argue they could be a little bigger, but I think it's the right size. You don't want to be, if you're taking this thing anywhere or in dioramas or anything like that, you can only fit really a certain amount, so it's kind of good that they kept them within that 12-inch mark. I would get, I guess, you know, to kind of give you that, you know, the sizable difference is definitely noticeable, so it'll be menacing in pictures and things like that. And he fell down, so careful of that. See, he's already scared of the troll. The detail work on his feet and everything is also pretty cool. So they got paint and sculpting on everything. So this was just the quick review to give you guys a chance to see these. I think they're really cool. You know, I can't wait to get mine in, and I have a second one coming in, a different variation of this guy. So when I do, I will have everything set up, and I will give you an actual review on both of them, and maybe some other things I got coming from them, and maybe some of like the 800 other things I still have to review that I haven't. So there you go. If you want to see one of these things, if you were trying to get one, or you're just waiting on yours coming in and you're interested, this is what he looks like. I think he's pretty awesome. I haven't got into like a whole, you know, numbers game or thing like that, but all I can say is I would recommend this, and I think they're really, really cool. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.